guys, it's MJ again. I hope you guys have had a good week. We're heading into the holidays, the end of the year. Can you believe the end of this crazy 2020? Yeah. So let's jump to it. So if you've been watching the last 3 videos that I've put up, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming back and checking in to see what I have to share. I'm just enjoying this opportunity to be able to share what I've learned around along my personal writing journey, and I hope you guys can find some information that can be helpful. So today I'm going to talk about creating characters. Creating characters can be very, very fun, and I think for me it's the most interesting part of the journey. For me, when my characters come to mind, it's usually based off of an idea of a situation that I might want to talk about in my books. I talked about that in my last video as well. But when the characters come to mind, they just kind of just talk to me. That makes sense. It'll be somebody that comes up in my head, male or female, age, race. I mean, it just all comes to my mind, just comes up. And the best way you can take and grow your character is to, number one, know what type of story you're trying to tell. If you're trying to tell a science fiction story, or if it's a drama, sci-fi, romance, know what type of story you want to tell, because that will help you be able to create the type of characters you want to have in your story. One of the best ways to craft your characters is to know who they are, beyond just male, female, name, age, that thing. You really want to have a whole backstory. So I guess what I'm trying to say, really, to write a really good story, you're going to write more than just the book itself. You have to have individual stories for at least your main characters. That's what I do. So for my male and female characters, since I write first person and I write from the male and female's point of view, I do in-depth character development for each character. So the character chart that I use has about 10 pages to it. Yeah, it'll take me about a whole day or two sometimes just to discover who the character is. But the importance of doing that is when you discover who the character is, you get to discover how that character will relate or react to the type of story that you're telling. And you want to be realistic about it. So the best way, like I said, to do is create a character chart. If you don't know what a character chart is, you can just Google one and you should be able to find a wide variety of them, actually. But basically, a character chart allows you to really go in depth into who the character is. So name, age, birthday, astrological sign if you're into that, family, siblings, oldest, youngest in the family, relationship issues with family members, relationship with friends, good experiences, bad experiences, dreams, aspirations, what they did in school, what are their favorite books, TV shows, magazines, what do they like to do, favorite activities that they like to do, where do they see themselves in 5 years, that kind of experiences or information that defines us as humans, as to who we are, because the way that we all react to life in certain situations is going to be based on our personal individual life experiences. So the fact that that's how it is in real life, if you really are trying to write 3-dimensional characters and not 2-dimensional characters, because a 2-dimensional character is pretty much name, date, birth, basics, and you put them in a situation and then they just act. But if you're doing in-depth character development and you're writing a 3D character, then they're not going to react. You're going to have the reasons of why their actions are. So if the character needs to be motivated for some reason, then you should be able to go into your backstory to find out what motivates that character to fit the situation or the storyline that you put them into. In order for your readers to really get into your characters, then they need to be able to feel the emotion and understanding of the reasons why your characters are doing certain things, which is up to you as the author to relay in the story that you're telling. So, therefore, if Bob is going to be mad because the co-worker at work took a drink out the fridge that had his name on it, you need to have more reasoning more understanding as the author to know why the character will overreact for something like that, so that you can portray that through the character's words, their actions, their demeanor, instead of just saying that Bob went off because Fred took his soda out the fridge. You as the author need to be able to know that, okay, so there's more to just the fact that, oh man, he took my 80-cent drink out the fridge. You need to know that Bob's reaction to his missing drink is because Bob is the youngest out of 7 kids, and he lived in a small house to where things like being able to get a soda was sometimes you had to be first come first serve. And since he was the baby of the family, his siblings that were older than him would always make a point to get it, and he had to fight to get what he wanted. So therefore, if that's the way Bob grew up and that's the mentality that he has, then that means that even as an adult living on his own doing whatever, part of him is still going to feel that way about what's mine is mine, can't nobody else touch it. And if you do, he's going to go off on you. And as the author, that's information you would get from or develop as you've written his character chart or his character outline, to be able to know that's what he's feeling, that's why he's doing certain things. Versus if you just throw it in there, don't nobody really know, or like I said, you need to be able to adequately show and have that understanding of being able to show that in the story. Now, backstory is not something that you write to necessarily put it all into your novel. That's not what you do. The backstory is more or less for you to help you develop your character. And then there could be at times bits and pieces of the backstory actually work its way into the actual either dialogue or the actual manuscript. But hey, you wouldn't know to put it there if you hadn't already developed who your character is based on this character chart. So I suggest character charts definitely being one of the main focuses of how you set the stage as to who your person is going to be. Other things that you need to do, or that I personally have done that I feel like help develop my characters a bit better, is I really delve into using the astrological signs, or astrology. I also use books that you can find on writing in regards to the different type of characters or personality traits that people have. And there is a book that I am so sorry, it's right off the top of my head right now. I cannot remember the name of this book, but I will put the book down below in the notes. That was written by psychologists or psychiatrists for writers to help you be able to understand the different facets of personalities and what different personality types will do in certain circumstances. Like you get the high end of the personality type and the low end of the personality type, and when you take that and you mix some of the astrology and put that stuff together with your imagination and your character chart, you gonna create some pretty fine 3D characters. So that's a suggestion that I give out, and that's something that I personally do. It does take time. Typically when I write, I'll come up with my idea of just the general outline of the story first, and I'll just do a free-flowing chart and just write that on down from beginning middle to end, just what I come to see in my mind and know. Sometimes character names will pop up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they'll be like, hey, African American male, blah 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 blah, and then go on. Sometimes it'd be like Jamal. You know what I'm saying? Names are important. When I wrote A Heart Not Easily Broken, because I was writing a book that was about interracial romance, one of the things I wanted to make sure that I did was, first of all, not keep throwing black and white in the picture all the time. I didn't even have my characters address black and white past a certain point, because for me the intention of the book was to not focus on the characters colors, the color of their skin or their race or any of the differences. I wanted to focus on the fact that they were human and people. So what I did was I guess you could kind of say I used a little bit of psychology in it. Yes, so Ebony, after you started reading the story and it was determined black and white, that mentally in the back of your head, as the characters fall in love and their relationship grows, color is no longer an issue, is no longer addressed. It's just boyfriend, girlfriend, my love, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to do something that was going to make you still in the back of your mind still say, hey, yeah, but they're like the same but different. That makes any sense? So I went with like the top most popular African American female names and most popular white male names. So therefore Brian and Ebony. So once you've even read the book, you still at least know, hey, in the back of your mind, black and white. I also want to do something that was different as far as what type of jobs they have. To me, it makes it feel a little bit more real when you have characters doing just general stuff, or maybe even something a little bit different than what you might never see in just a regular book. So therefore I made Ebony. Ebony was the zoologist and Brian was the musician. But again, we already know why Ebony was into the zoo, and that was about Lost. So episode 1 to get that story if you're late to catching up, if you need to catch up. But yeah, that's pretty much I think what I got going on as far as what I can recommend for you at this moment as far as how to effectively create your characters, because I mean it's different for everybody. Everybody's characters are going to be different based on the type of story that they're telling, but the biggest thing of all is definitely, before you start putting down on paper Bob, Sally, Josephine said, know who they are so that you know what they're saying and why. So the who, the what, and the why is important to defining and creating 3D characters. Hey, I found the book. Let me tell you about it. The Writer's Guide to Character Traits by Linda Edelstein. You can definitely find that on Amazon, and I swear to God, that is like my favorite go-to book. They will break it down for you. I'm talking about everything you need to know about the good traits, the bad traits, and everything in between. So with that said, this one was a little bit short today. So I hope you guys still found it enjoyable and knowledgeable and hopefully help you out a little bit. But before I go, I just want to make sure I take a moment to shout out my sponsors. Big shout out to the Grind Factory Studios. If you guys, whatever it is your thing. If you're into music, if you're into doing podcasts, if you're an author who wants to have your books turned into audiobooks, if you are someone who does music production, whatever, the Grind Factory Studios, grindfactorystudios.com. Check them out. Very affordable prices and rates for you to be able to get in and get your project done. Check them out. Definitely check out Candid Creations. Wonderful business that can help you with anything you need to do for as far as promotions for what you do. Everything from book covers. If you need digital promotions, any of those things. If you need to get your author photos done, they can do your makeover, get you straight, get your pictures and stuff done. All of that stuff. Candy Creations. Once you get all that stuff done and you're ready to promote it and get it out there and get your name shown, Major Movement Inc. Definitely check them out, because they will get you out there to the masses and help promote you, get you promoted, to get all your to bring people to you. And hey, me, MJK Media. If you are not a writer and you stumble into this video and just found it interesting, but say you need some written information for like your website, your EPKs, or anything that you got going on, your video, your like I said, your websites or whatnot, hit me up, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great holiday weekend. Stay safe. We get ready to go into more crazier times as the fall is, well, winter. We're into winter, heading into 2021. So my goal is to have 2021 be another year of finding a way to continue to find me, to continue to find my new writing voice now, because since the final book in the Butterfly Memoirs has been released, book 6, Shattered, my first series from beginning to end is completed. I have successfully written 6 books. Whew. Wow. And now it's time to find something new. So, anyways, stay tuned, because I think as I make these new moves on this new series, when I first started the Butterfly Memoirs, I had a website that I had going up. I don't have my website at the moment. I'm revamping some things. But I had a website and I had people follow me on the website, so it helped when that book came out. A lot of people were looking for it because they had been watching the journey and the writing and wanted to know what was going on. So I think whatever I got going, that's going to be happening in 2021, I think I'm going to vlog about it. Take you guys along the journey. Ought to be fun, I think. But anyway, take care. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye.